Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And right now, your top local story, a shooting ends with at least one woman in the hospital with a gunshot wound. We have details from police.
The CDC urging states to get ready to distribute a vaccine by November 1st. I'm Inez de la Cuetara in Washington, and I'll have all the details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's 81 degrees. We hope you got lucky and got some rain yesterday. If not, there might be another chance today.
And a good morning to you. We've made it to Thursday. It is September 3rd.
Happy Thursday. Hope you enjoyed yesterday. I don't know if I got rain. I might have gone to sleep before it happened, but it seemed like it was going to rain. What about you?
It was very hit or miss. I heard reports of some rumbles out in West Bexar County yesterday, Mike Ostrage. This morning, more of the same, I assume?
Yeah, and about the same rain chances. Of course, you know, some people were complaining yesterday that, oh, you said it was going to rain and I didn't get rain. Well, not everybody's going to be seeing rain.
Well, present company excluded. I don't think we were formally complaining yet.
No, yet.
Because if you do, no, anyway, yeah, we do have some more rain out there right now. We still have about basically the same weather pattern. The really great news yesterday, of course, some folks got some rain, but we only hit 95 degrees. Boy, that's something to celebrate about. All right, we've got some of these couple of showers here. And again, if you get one of these showers or a thunderstorm, could have some fairly decent downpours because of all the moisture in the atmosphere right now. So here's a little batch that's heading in right toward Gonzales, and that's working its way off to basically the northeast, and a few more of these scattered showers down there to the south. We'll see a few more developing later on today. And also, like yesterday, some of them could be on the strong to potentially severe side. We're looking at not only the potential for some heavy rain, which does not constitute or is not part of anything being severe, but high winds would be one of the biggest threats just because of all this, the way the atmosphere is set up. You get some pretty strong downdrafts with that potential. So that's the marginal risk for severe weather later on today. Low amounts of mold in the atmosphere. And throughout the rest of today, temperatures, well, we're going to be right around, say, mid-upper 70s. It actually, I don't know about y'all, but does it feel just a little bit not as oppressive this morning? It wasn't quite as bad walking outside. A couple of showers and 95 for a high temperature today. A couple of scattered showers and a few thunderstorms out there. Weekend forecast, long Labor Day weekend forecast is coming up. Time saver traffic right now this Thursday morning. Here is Officer Nick Solis.
Hey, Mike. Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great start to your Thursday morning. Have one accident right now we're working on. This one just came out. Fredericksburg at Heber Road. Still trying to get more information on this, but keep that in mind if you're heading that way. That's near USAA there. Construction northbound US Highway 281 at Winding Way. This is going to those northbound lanes. So construction there. Construction eastbound I-10 West at Dominion Drive. The eastbound lanes of I-10 are completely closed down. Hopefully this opens up at least by 6 a.m. so it doesn't cause too much traffic. And we have this construction 281 at Divine Street. The left lane is closed from 281 at Divine through SA River through Hildebrand. So this will be there for a little while. Keep that in mind if you're heading southbound on US 281 as well. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you very much, Nick. New this morning, San Antonio police looking for suspects. They say opened fire in a neighborhood just east of downtown. It happened about 11 o'clock last night in the 6-hour block of Potomac, which is just north of East Commerce Street. SAPD says a woman and some others were sitting on a porch when a tan Buick pulled up. Someone inside started shooting out of the window, then sped off. Police say the woman was hit in the stomach by gunfire. She was taken to an area hospital in stable condition.
One person shot in the leg right outside a mall on the city's west side. Police say it all began last night when an argument started inside Inger Park Mall between 6 teenagers. That fight then spilled outside. Officers tell us that's when someone was shot in the leg. That person was taken to University Hospital. No arrests have been made as of right now, but officers did detain several people.
Now to the latest COVID-19 numbers here in Bexar County. Metro Health reporting 250 new cases, brings the total confirmed number of cases to 46,913. 7-day moving average of cases now about 184.
Another 13 deaths are listed in the latest report. 6 were from the period of July 14th to August 30th, and the death toll sits at 835.
356 people still in the hospital. That's down 10. 164 in ICU, 93 on ventilators. 14% of staffed hospital beds are currently available as of this morning. With the coronavirus death toll nearing 185,000, a new letter from the CDC to state health officials is urging state vaccine distribution facilities to be prepared for a vaccine by November 1st.
However, some have an issue with that day because it's just 2 days before the election. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, the CDC director urging governors in all 50 states to get ready by November 1st to help with the release of a possible vaccine. Dr. Robert Redfield saying in a letter obtained by ABC News, the government is rapidly making preparations to implement large-scale distribution of COVID-19 vaccines in the fall of 2020. That letter dated on the same day the president promised a vaccine at the Republican convention.
We'll produce a vaccine before the end of the year, or maybe even sooner.
But the director of the National Institute of Health says it's unlikely there will be a vaccine that soon. Critics worry a vaccine might be rushed, but the White House claims the timing has nothing to do with the election. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, two very different-looking campaigns. Former Vice President Joe Biden at a socially distanced event in Delaware, hammering his message that the president is making the country less safe.
If President Trump and his administration had done their jobs early on with this crisis, American schools would be open, and they'd be open safely. Instead, American families all across this country are paying the price for his failures.
While President Trump greeted supporters in North Carolina. Although a metal gate separated him from the crowd, his supporters were packed in together, few wearing masks.
I think we're rounding the turn on this China virus. We're rounding the turn.
Health experts now urging Americans to be vigilant with Labor Day celebrations right around the corner.
Backyard barbecues are fine as long as they're not massive, but you have to have a plan. What if it starts raining? Don't have everybody come indoors.
And colleges are now struggling to stop the spread of COVID. The University of Georgia reporting more than 800 cases on campus in just the last week. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Children might have questions about COVID-19, especially as many are going to go back to school. That's why Bexar County Judge Carlos Quezada of the 289th Juvenile Court, along with a couple of doctors, gave local children the opportunity to have their voices heard. The judge and his panel took time yesterday to answer questions from kids via Zoom about the pandemic and their experiences the past few months. This was the first Q&A session of its kind for the Juvenile Court, but the judge hopes to do more in the future.
Time right now is 4:37, 81 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, a first look at how many Americans are getting ready to travel for the upcoming Labor Day holiday weekend.
And next, parts of Central America get ready for Hurricane Nana, which is set to make landfall possibly today.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it is 81 degrees. And I think Mike's right, not as humid as yesterday, so we'll take that. We're going to check in with him after the break.
Welcome back. In morning headlines, Nana, now a hurricane. The storm barreling westward just off the coast of Honduras on a collision course with Belize. Thousands are stocking up on food, water, and construction materials. Nana expected to make landfall today as a hurricane. U.S. National Hurricane Center says the storm has maximum sustained winds of about 75 miles an hour and classifies it as a Category 1 hurricane.
A Twitter account linked to India's prime minister appears to have been hacked. For nearly an hour, several tweets were posted from a verified account. It asked people to donate to Bitcoin and to another account referencing a COVID-19 fund. The account, which has 2.5 million followers, is one of a handful of verified accounts linked to the prime minister. Twitter says they are investigating the incident and taking steps to secure the account. Those tweets have since been deleted.
Target is adding 600 more products to the Good and Gather food and beverage brand. The brand first launched with 650 items from dairy to produce to ready-made pastas and pantry staples. Since grown to include other products such as plant-based meats, yogurt, and other products. This fall, it will showcase creations across almost every food category. It will include items like jalapeno avocado hummus, frozen zucchini spirals, and much more. Just look for it at your neighborhood Target store.
We'll be looking. Time now, 4:41 and 80 degrees.
Next, as many Americans get ready to travel for the upcoming holiday weekend, look how many are following coronavirus restrictions.
And welcome back. It's 4:44. After being cooped up in their homes all summer, some Americans are getting ready to hit the road for Labor Day weekend. Gio Benitez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, masks and travel.
How important is it for you to wear a mask at an airport?
Oh, I think it's very important.
But Dr. Henry Wu with Emory University's Travel Well Center says people need to be extra vigilant when hitting the skies.
People may be coming from areas with high rates of COVID.
To find out if passengers are wearing face coverings at airports while traveling, we did an experiment. GMA producers visiting the ticketing areas at 3 popular airports, Miami International Airport, New York's LaGuardia, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson. In 1 hour, in a single spot, we counted to see how many people were wearing masks correctly, incorrectly, or not at all.
We found some interesting numbers.
So what did we find? Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have our eye-opening results and tell you how to prepare before your next flight. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Here at Home Reinsurance, for some renters, as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention orders a halt to many evictions.
The agency's order should be effective starting tomorrow, but as Garrett Berringer tells us, it doesn't mean everyone is safe from being evicted.
The new protections may have been announced, but they're not in place yet, and eviction hearings were still going on here in Precinct 2 today.
The Honorable Judge Roberto Vasquez is now presiding.
Meaning that some people still found themselves evicted.
Court will allow the plaintiff to have restitution of the premises.
I mean, it's rough, but I can't really do anything about it.
But in a few days, some renters will have something they can do. The new CDC directive protects through the end of the year what it calls any covered person from eviction over non-payment of rent. But to be covered, renters have to submit a signed declaration to their landlord with several statements, including that they've done their best to get government help to pay their rent, that they've had a substantial loss of income or extraordinary out-of-pocket medical expenses, and that they're paying what they can.
And you made a judgment in your favor.
The Justice of the Peace in Precinct 2 says he's waiting for guidance on how this will work administratively and logistically.
It's my opinion that we're going to have to give tenants some type of a reasonable time in order to comply.
What I do know is that
District 1 Councilman Roberto Trevino, who has repeatedly raised concerns about affordable housing, supports the new protections.
This really came as a welcome surprise to many of us.
But he still thinks the city needs to put more towards emergency housing and bill assistance. The city's expected to finish off the last of the more than $50 million it's set aside for that purpose later this month. While the proposed budget for next fiscal year, which begins October 1st, only has $5.25 million at the moment.
Just because this is in place, it does not mean that there is not going to be a need for an emergency housing assistance.
Garrett Berringer, KSAT 12 News.
Let's check traffic at 447.
How's it looking, Officer Nick Solis?
Yeah, just one accident right now we're dealing with. That's Huebner at Fredericksburg Road near USAA. This accident's about 20 minutes old now. Hopefully it gets cleared up very soon. Not causing too much traffic there at that intersection. Still working on some construction northbound US Highway 281 at Winding Way, causing a little bit of moderate traffic in those northbound lanes there. Construction eastbound I-10 at Dominion. The eastbound lanes of I-10 are still closed at Dominion Drive. Keep that in mind if you have to head in that direction. And we still have this construction 281 at Divine Street. This has the left lane closed on southbound 281 from Divine Street all the way through Hildebrand. So not causing a delay yet, but could if that construction is still there by 7 a.m.
All right, thank you, Nick. Mike joins us now. Is that a KSAT Connect picture or a still shot from a 70s or 80s horror film?
It's very cool.
It does look like something even from the original Frankenstein. No, that's
or Michael Jackson's Thriller video or something.
Yeah. What a cool looking picture. We need to save that one for closer to Halloween. But thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Yeah, we're just one day past the official full moon, the corn moon, and once again, this one is not the harvest moon. That's the full moon closest to the equinox, which is going to be on the 1st of October. So, but boy, what a beautiful, beautiful sight. All right, notice the lights here downtown. They're just a little bit more distinct this morning. There's a smidge lower humidity compared to what we had yesterday. So it's a little easier when you step outside the front door. 81 here in town, 77 Bernie Stage, 79 in Bulverde. Dew points, now granted they are still high. We're still looking at mid 70s, but they are down about a degree or two. As a matter of fact, 2 degrees down. I know that does not sound like much of anything, but dew points when going between 74, 76, 2 degrees makes a whole bunch of difference. A 4-degree drop in the dew point, although it is up in some areas, especially off to the west. So in some areas, it is just a little bit more comfortable this morning. All right, we do have some rain obviously showing up. Everything is moving basically to the east to almost northeast. And these showers that are moving in toward Gonzales, light, moderate showers, a couple of them down to the south as well. So we'll have a few of these around this morning. Then I think we see a lull in the action. Then it picks back up later on. So this is what the computer model looks like. Again, through noon, we may have a couple of these showers left over down to the southeast. But what's interesting is now this computer model, this is that rapid update model, and it is picking up a couple of cells moving out of the hill country, and this would be early to mid-afternoon and working its way down to the south all the way through the afternoon hours in toward dinner time. We'll have more of these scattered showers around here. We are going to have to watch out for a couple of heavier downpours. With all this moisture in the atmosphere, yeah, get a good shower thunderstorm, and it's going to be kind of a gully washer at times. And then also could be some strong winds. Another thing that this computer model is picking up is another one of these nighttime cells trying to develop late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So that'll be something to keep an eye on potentially for tomorrow. Now, as far as dew points, we're going to remain with dew points fairly high. You know, we're going to stay in the 60s throughout the afternoon, and I'm kind of covering this up just a little bit. This computer model then takes dew points and drops them down like a rock toward the middle part of next week. That would be in association with the front moving on through here. There is a little bit of discrepancy as to how potent this front could be, but long-range computer models are still in agreement that there will be a front moving through. One computer model has the doozy front, and the other one's kind of like a not too bad, but at least it will be knocking temperatures down as it looks right now by next week. So 88 degrees today at noon, couple of leftover showers. And then later on today, we will have a couple of showers and even a few thunderstorms around the area. Potentially, there's a marginal risk for some of those storms to be on the strong to severe side later on today. High winds would be the biggest threat. And tomorrow we'll have some more shower storms around here. Mid-90s for temperatures. A little bit lower chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then that will pick back up. And Wednesday, temperatures are going to be... And that map did not update itself. I apologize. That would be down in the about mid-80s on Wednesday.
I was going to say,
better.
Yeah, even better. Yeah, what we're really looking for is morning lows about 10 degrees cooler than that one. Yeah. Can we head that way?
We will be seeing temperatures down, as it's looking right now, in the probably mid to even upper 60s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, even better.
That's great.
Part of next week.
Thank you, Mike. What do we get you?
A gift.
You want a list?
You can work on that.
Hang on, let me go get that.
452, you have enough power tools. 452, 81 degrees.
And coming up next, more details on Prince Harry and Meghan's new deal with Netflix.
Let's take a look at your lottery numbers, including Lotto Texas, because nobody won last night. Jackpot's up to $37.5 million. Pick three numbers, 957, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 8607, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 8, 14, 31, 32, 35. Lotto Texas 7, 13, 26, 32, 46, 54.
And Powerball 1, 4, 11, 20, 69, Powerball 18, Power Play 2. Wildly popular Star Wars series The Mandalorian finally gets a season 2 start date.
Yay! Here's CNN's Douglas Hyde with a Hollywood Minute.
Mandalorian, look outside. They're waiting for you.
The wait for season 2 of The Mandalorian will soon be over. Disney Plus announced the wildly popular Star Wars series will return on October 30th. It'll have a lot to live up to. The first season was a huge hit and has been nominated for 15 Emmy Awards, including Outstanding Drama Series.
Shouldn't you be at work then?
Britain's Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle have inked a multi-year deal with Netflix. The royal couple, who now live in California, will produce shows, films, and documentaries for the streaming giant. 2 projects are already underway, a nature docu-series and an animated series that'll celebrate inspiring women.
This ship bears the name Discovery. She has carried us into the future.
Star Trek Discovery is boldly going where no Trek series has gone before. The CBS All Access show will introduce audiences to the sci-fi franchise's first transgender and non-binary characters next month. Ian Alexander and newcomer Blue Del Barrio will step into those roles for the upcoming third season, which kicks off October 15th. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
457, 81 degrees.
And still ahead in our next half hour of GMSA, a look at how President Trump is threatening to cut funding that the administration has called lawless and anarchist jurisdictions.
Plus a look at Google's new plan to convert 40 acres of land into new mixed-use campuses. That's coming up in Tech Bite.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this hour, the latest on President Trump's threat to cut funding to some Democratic-led cities that the administration have called lawless.
And friends and family calling for change after a military veteran was shot and killed by Bexar County Sheriff's deputies after a mental health call.
And outside with Live Cam, we'll take every little bit of change we can get, even if it means slightly lower humidity or temperatures that are not at or over 100 degrees. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, September 3rd.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. And today, Mike is our best friend. He has a great news.
Well, he's always our best friend, but he's our super best friend. And we probably owe him lunch and or dinner.
Okay. Go right over there, about a block and a half. Go get breakfast tacos.
You want breakfast tacos?
Yeah, breakfast tacos sound really good. Hey, we're at 81 degrees right now. Number-wise, as far as this graphic is concerned, it's really not that much different than the past couple of days. However, look at that top number. Now, the dew point just went up a degree in the past hour. We were down to 74, so it wasn't quite as kind of like in your face as you walked outside this morning. Wind out of the south-southeast about 13 miles per hour. The aquifer did go up just 0.3 of a foot yesterday. Of course, still the 10-day average is below 660, and we have a little bit of mold in the atmosphere. All right, we do have some rain showing up on radar right now, and we will have more showers around the area today. Now, of course, not everybody is going to be seeing rain today, nor the next couple of days, but we do have decent chances overall. A few of these showers, a couple of maybe even a few moderate showers, and those are working their way through northern Wilson County over toward Gonzales, and then a couple of more down in some of our southern counties. If you do get one of these showers or thunderstorms later on today, they could be on the potentially strong side. There is a marginal risk covering a good chunk of our area for a severe storm later on this afternoon into the evening hours. Again, high winds would be the biggest threat with this, maybe small hail, but basically high winds. And then aside from the severe threat, heavy downpours are also something you need to be on the lookout for. So a couple of showers around this morning, a couple of showers, thunderstorms, and once again, we're going to be right around mid-90s like yesterday. We were at 95 degrees. That's the lowest high temperature in about 2 weeks. That's pretty nice. Did not hit triple digits and don't have any triple digits in the forecast either. A few showers and storms around tonight. We're going to have to watch out for another one of those nighttime storm complexes maybe to develop in the overnight hours. And we're going to keep some rain chances, even though they may be dropping a little bit toward the weekend, and mid to lower 90s around here. And middle of next week, we're still looking at a fairly decent cold front to move on through here. Details on that in just a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. Mrs. Solis's favorite son,
Nicholas Solis. All right. Green on the screen. Things are looking good right now. We had one accident here on Fredericksburg and Heber that cleared up, but we still have some construction we're dealing with. This is eastbound I-10 West at Dominion Drive. The eastbound lanes of I-10 are closed. Hopefully they open up by 6 or 7 a.m. so that does not cause some major traffic build up there coming from Bernie to 1604. Now drive times eastbound 151 1604 to 99 minutes, and if you're 90 eastbound from 1604 to 35, you got an 11-minute ride, so looking good for those times there. Taking a look at the TransGuide, 35 at Ben Dingleman looks great. 35 at 410 right there on the northeast side, flowing very smoothly right now. We got 35 at 1604 on the far north side. That looks great, and we'll do one more. 35 at Evans, flowing smoothly. All right, everyone, make sure to wear that seatbelt and get to work safely. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Nick. President Trump threatening to cut off federal funding to cities like New York and Seattle. It's part of a crackdown on riots and looting and what the president has described as lawless protesting.
And this comes as Joe Biden travels to Kenosha, Wisconsin today to visit with the family of Jacob Blake. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has the latest.
This morning, President Trump taking steps to revoke federal funding from what he calls anarchist cities. The president is ordering all federal agencies to send reports to the White House within 14 days, laying out funds that can be redirected. Trump's memo signaling out Washington, D.C., Seattle, Portland, and New York City. The president writing in a tweet that his administration, quote, will do everything in its power to prevent weak mayors and lawless cities from taking federal dollars. Overnight, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo claiming the president's order is illegal, noting that New York City alone receives $7 billion a year in federal aid for housing, medical, and homeland security. Cuomo slamming Trump.
Look, the best thing he did for New York City was leave. Good riddance. Let him go to Florida. Be careful not to get COVID.
As President Trump pushes his law and order message on the campaign trail, the White House says federal authorities have arrested more than 200 people in several cities in recent demonstrations linked to police brutality. Today, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is ramping up his travel, heading to Kenosha, Wisconsin, to meet with the family of Jacob Blake, the black man shot 7 times in the back by police.
There's been overwhelming requests that I do come. Because what we want to do is we got to heal. We got to put things together, bring people together. And so my purpose in going will be to do just that.
Trump, during his visit to Kenosha this week, did not meet with Blake's family. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
The family of Damian Daniels is talking about what's next after the military veteran was shot and killed by law enforcement. Now, Daniels was shot and killed after Bexar County deputies responded to a mental health call at his home last week. Last night, friends and family members of the veteran took time to remember him.
I let them know my brother was going through a severe stage of paranoia, that he had a weapon, that he is a military veteran.
He fought in Afghanistan. He came home, was killed in his front yard, not by a terrorist or by Al-Qaeda, but he was killed by a law enforcement official. That just blows my mind.
Friends and family say something has to change, and they are calling on people to form committees and speak with politicians about mental health. Bexar County Judge Nelson Vos says he will be speaking with staff at Healthcare Services to see what recommendations they have to make sure a case like this doesn't happen again.
On the same day, a vigil was held for Daniels. The names of the deputies involved in the case were released. They are 52-year-old John A. Rodriguez, 49-year-old Enrique A. Cepeda, 40-year-old Michelle Garifa. Rodriguez is a 14-year veteran with Sheriff's Office. Cepeda served 23 years, Garifa 16 years with SO. The night of the shooting, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar praised his deputies and their response.
An SAISD teacher has been put on administrative leave after speaking out about the district's plans for in-person learning next week. Luke Amphlett was among several Burbank High School employees who brought up their concerns in a letter to school leaders. Some of those concerns included masks not being worn, rooms not being properly sanitized, and screening procedures for students. It's a responsibility that teachers are worried they would have to take on. Now, Amphlett is a member of the San Antonio Alliance, a teachers union, and we are told he was the only teacher placed on paid administrative leave. Students are also speaking out about the district's decision.
And when we see stuff like this happen, it's a real slap in the face to us and to those who have been advocating for this change.
We see our teachers being punished like this. Like, what does that look like for us once we go back and we want to express real concerns?
SAISD officials say it cannot comment on Amphlett's leave, but did say they respect their employees' rights to raise concerns. The district also saying each of its campuses have a plan in place to reopen safely, and they are following CDC guidelines.
New program at UTSA this fall semester is allowing students to be part of the public health response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The course on contact tracing gives students hands-on experience on how to track people exposed to COVID-19. The course is for upper division health and public health majors. UTSA senior Allison Olfer says she's enrolled in the new class.
They're not just going to be listening to online modules and learning what it is, but they're going to be actually doing contact tracing.
I used to work in a hospital system, and I really saw the impacts of COVID-19 on our community and just the lack of education. And I was really wanting to get integrated into the San Antonio community, and particularly the UTSA community.
So far, about 20 people have enrolled in the program.
Time now is 5:09 and 81 degrees for now.
Still ahead, a look at a new study that says blue light from digital devices can age your skin faster than you might think.
And also next, in high school and homeless. Just ahead, how one woman survived the streets and is now looking forward to law school.
And outside with live cam, checking on Mike, his forecast, and those changes to our South Texas weather coming up right here on GMSA. The pandemic, addiction, lack of affordable housing. These are just some of the reasons why the number of homeless students in schools across the country is at an all-time high.
But as Erica Hernandez reports, one woman is sharing her story of success despite being homeless.
We have dirty laundry. In that one, there's tools that we might need.
That was 15-year-old Ariel Metzger, along with her little brother Austin, featured on 60 Minutes, homeless and living out of her dad's truck.
It's only life. You do what you need to do, right?
Fast forward 10 years.
I was so proud of myself to be able to work that hard to be able to finally get a degree.
Ariel now goes by Autumn Johnson, using her life experiences guided by her faith to help homeless and hurting teenagers.
It was a lot to juggle and a lot to handle.
For the first time, she's coming out publicly with what happened to her.
He would physically abuse my brother and sexually abuse me. It's hard to say. Being homeless was probably the easiest thing I've ever done.
In a recent study of homeless teens, nearly 50% reported physical harm by a family member and 19% reported sexual abuse. Professor Rockney Shankar Brown is Autumn's mentor.
I think the beauty for me is seeing there have been so many different people that have come in and helped her.
Not long after being thrown into the national spotlight, Autumn was put into foster care and was finally adopted. She accepted a full ride to Stetson University, but as so much has changed, one thing remains the same.
I plan to be a child defense lawyer. School was everything to me, and it still is.
She is speaking out now to let others see there is hope.
The life right now that you're living is temporary. There is better. You can always move forward. Nothing stays the same.
Autumn accepted a position at an organization that helps girls survive and thrive after being sex trafficked. And in case you were wondering, her brother is an undergrad at Stetson University. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
5:15, 81 degrees.
Prince William and Meghan sign a Netflix deal. We're going to tell you more about it next.
I have the power to lower my blood sugar and A1C.
Because I can still make my own insulin, and Trulicity activates my body to release it, like it's supposed to. Once weekly Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It's not insulin. It starts acting from the first dose, and it lowers risk of heart attack, stroke, or death in people with known heart disease or multiple risk factors.
Trulicity isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, belly pain, and decreased appetite, which lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. We're committed to helping ensure Trulicity is available and affordable. Learn more at Trulicity.com.
In today's Tech Bites, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan Markle inking a big deal with Netflix. The royal couple signing on to make documentaries, scripted TV shows, and children's series. Financial terms are private, but analysts say the deal is likely worth well into the millions.
Next, a big real estate investment from Google. It just unveiled plans to create a new campus in its home city of Mountain View, California. The 40-acre campus will include more than 1 million square feet of office space, along with housing units and retail space. And your computer screen is aging you. A new study finds 30 hours in front of the blue light from your monitor is as bad for your skin as 25 minutes of sun without sunscreen. Experts recommend screen breaks and skin creams with antioxidants to lessen the problem. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It's just about 5:20. We are curious about how the morning commute is looking. We had all sorts of problems yesterday on 35 with that big rig on its side covering all the northbound lanes. How about right now?
Right now, Mark, it's looking good. So everyone's up to a good start if you're headed to work. Things are looking good. No accidents to report. Just a little bit of construction that we've been dealing with all morning. This is eastbound I-10 West at Dominion Drive. Those eastbound lanes are still closed. Expected delay if you are headed in that direction from Bernie to 1604. Here is some TransGuide footage of that construction at 10 at Dominion. Hopefully this opens up soon, and we're still working on this construction here. It's going to be southbound 281 at Divine. This has the left lane of the southbound lanes of 281 closed from Divine through SA River through Hildebrand. So expect a little bit of delay as we get into the 6 o'clock hour if this construction is still there.
Thank you, Nick. I think
a lot of construction.
Yeah, a lot of construction. I think Steph will agree. Woodlawn Lake is one of those places you can hardly tell it's in the middle of one of the biggest cities in the country, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, you're getting great pictures there.
And Mr. McClellan is 2 for 2 as far as sunset pictures. This one, remember yesterday, had that swan in it, and now this one, a couple of ducks just going by. Oh, what a beautiful picture. That's great looking. Thanks very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, we still got a lot of humidity out there. Well, it wasn't, at least a couple hours ago when I walked out the back door, wasn't quite as humid as what it was yesterday morning. We're at 81 degrees right now, mid-70s in the hill country, a little more in the way of some clear skies out in portions of the hill country. Dew point was at 74. It's now back up to 75 degrees. So there is a fair amount of humidity all around. Helotes at 77, as it usually is. Canyon Lake also at 76 for a dew point temperature. And New Braunfels, you've got a steam bath as well. So we've got a couple of showers that are showing up on radar. Obviously not a lot, and now those moving through Gonzales right now appear to be almost dying down just a little bit, but you're getting some rain there, so fantastic there. Even a couple of thunderstorms have now started to crop up right there, moving across 37 down to the southeast, and we'll continue to keep a few more of these around. This computer model rapid update does keep those throughout the morning hours, working their way off to the east, and then perhaps a bit of a lull in the action. Then by early afternoon, we're going to start to see another cluster of storms work its way down from the hill country, and this is going to be through mid-afternoon in toward dinner time, and some of those could be potentially on the strong side. High winds are going to be the biggest threat with some of these storms. And then also on top of that, some heavy downpours can't be ruled out as well. And we'll keep a couple of scattered showers, thunderstorms around through the evening hours. And then overnight, this model wants to get one of those nighttime little complexes developing here. So by tomorrow morning, we may be looking at some more rain in portions of the hill country. Marginal risk for something to become severe later on today. Basically all of the area with the exception of the coastal plain. And satellite picture, those few showers just continue to kind of work on through here. We've got a couple of little features that are moving through and keeping things sort of churned up in the atmosphere a little bit. And of course, we are still watching up there to the north as that cooler air tries to come on in here. Temperatures right now down around the mid 40s in Bismarck. Though I know we start looking at temperatures up to the north and something decides to move down in here, and it does look like we will see a little bit of that cooler air coming in here by the middle part of next week. 88 degrees today at noon, a couple of showers around here, and then later on today 95 high temperature just like yesterday, just about normal. Normal high is 94 now. Sure beats hitting 100, and we will have some scattered showers and thunderstorms around the area. Same thing tomorrow. Then I think rain chances taper a bit Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Start to come back up as that cool front approaches us in the middle of next week, and it should knock temperatures down into the 80s. Now, a couple of models have it a little bit stronger. Some are not quite as aggressive with it, but everything's pretty much agreeing there will be a front moving on through here to knock temperatures down.
Nice to see 50-50 chances of rain on there in a couple of days.
That means not everybody's going to see rain.
Sure.
Yeah, but a lot of folks will.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
The lucky ones, yes.
523, 81 degrees.
And coming up next, new details as the CDC says plans to distribute COVID-19 vaccines could come as soon as October.
526, the CDC alerting states to prepare for a coronavirus vaccine as soon as this fall.
CNN's Karen Kaifa has the latest.
Public health officials in all 50 states receiving notice from the CDC to prepare to distribute a COVID-19 vaccine possibly by late October. CDC Director Robert Redfield saying, quote, "Right now, I will say we're preparing earnestly for what I anticipate will be reality, that there will be one or more vaccines available for us in November, December, and we have to figure out how to make sure they're distributed in a fair and equitable way across the country." Meanwhile, COVID is striking schools hard across the nation.
Protecting our students, our educators, our communities, getting our schools open safely and effectively. This is a national emergency.
Miami University in Ohio reporting a more than 100% increase in cases from just last week. And Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania now requiring all students to quarantine after some students tested positive.
Managing a pandemic on campus can be a unique situation.
The world of sports also feeling COVID's impact. Texas Rangers infielder Isaiah Kiner-Falefa describing this season on the road as almost like a prison. And Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins says he's not afraid of catching coronavirus.
While the virus does not give me a great amount of personal fear, there's still great reason for me to engage in wearing a mask and social distancing and, washing my hands as frequently as I can.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
528, 81 degrees.
And still ahead in our next half hour, a preview of Joe Biden's visit to Kenosha, Wisconsin today, following President Donald Trump's visit.
A closer look at how the Bexar County Courthouse is trying to get jury trials up and running again. Good morning to you. It is Thursday, September 3rd. Mike, I've done my part. I left the umbrella at home today.
Oh,
they said if you could just forget
that's what it was.
Yeah, you'll increase the chances of rain exponentially, Mark.
Did you get your car washed?
Oh.
You got to double down. There you go. I'll do that. I'll help out.
So sorry.
Just listen to me. Anyway, we do have more rain chances around today. We've had a couple of showers so far this morning. And boy, this picture hadn't really changed all that much. Heat index right now is at 87 in town, 88 New Braunfels, Pleasanton, as well as Gonzales. And there's the shower showing up. At least there is some rain out there. So that's the good news, even though not everybody is getting rain. And plus, with the extra cloud cover, yesterday we only stayed at, I say only 95 degrees, 1 degree above normal, better than the triple digits that we've been seeing leading up to that. Gonzales, you're getting a couple of showers around here. We did have a few lightning strikes right there as that little cell was moving just to the north of Three Rivers, sliding across 37. A couple of more cells in behind it. So a couple of showers scattered about the area this morning, but then we'll see a few more later on this afternoon. And as a matter of fact, it looks like there are a couple of models want to get a cluster of storms developing up here north of the hill country and working their way down. And some of those could be on the strong to potentially severe side. High winds would be the biggest thing we have to watch out for. And then on top of that, we will see maybe some heavy downpours as well, some localized heavy downpours. 88 degrees today at noon. Once again, 95 and some scattered rain around here. We'll still keep a few showers and thunderstorms around the area into tonight. Tomorrow, another decent chance of rain. Looks like it's going to start to taper a bit by the weekend, but then pick back up in toward next week. And no triple digits in the forecast. I think that's almost what's better news. Rain chances or no triple digits? Details in the forecast coming up. Time saver traffic right now. Here's Officer Nick Solis. Anything big going on, sir?
No, not much, Mike, but I'm happy to hear the football weather is near. All right. A lot of green on the screen there. If you are on the way to work, you got a time for a little pit stop, put some gas, something, because no accidents right now to report. Things are looking good on all the major highways and streets. We do have some construction here. Eastbound I-10 at Dominion. This has been there all morning. The main lanes of eastbound I-10 at Dominion Road are still closed down. I do anticipate them opening up very soon, however, and I'll talk to TransGuide to see when I can get a good proper time frame for that. All right, drive times here. I-10 eastbound from FM 46 to 1604. 40 minutes is a very good time. Eastbound I-10 from the northwest side of 1604 to I-35. 13 minutes, still really a good time there. Taking a look right now, this is the other construction we had. This is 281 at Divine Street. It looks like this is now opened up. Good news for everybody there. That left lane of southbound 281 from Divine to Hildebrand is now open. You should expect a smooth ride if you're heading that way. Mark, Stephanie.
That is good news, Nick. Thank you. A night outdoors has led to a morning in the hospital for a local woman. San Antonio police say she was shot outside a home on the east side in the 600 block of Potomac. Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters. Katrina, what is the latest? Have police found the shooter?
No, that search continues. They say that witnesses told them the shooter was on the move, someone in a car that drove by and kept going. The police found the victim, the woman, outside that home late last night, bleeding from a gunshot wound to her belly. Witnesses told police that the shooter was in a tan Buick that pulled up outside the home in the 600 block of Potomac shortly after 11 last night. The woman was sitting on the porch with a few other people at the time. Someone in the car fired in their direction, hitting her in her belly. Police say she was stable when she was taken away in an ambulance. And again, they say that neither the shooter nor the tan Buick has been seen ever since. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
2 days after President Trump visited Kenosha, Wisconsin, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden and his wife will visit the Wisconsin city today.
CNN's Melissa Rainey has the details on what's ahead.
Citing overwhelming requests from Democratic leaders, Joe Biden and his wife Jill will head to Kenosha, Wisconsin Thursday.
There's been overwhelming requests that I do come. Because what we want to do is we got to heal. We got to put things together, bring people together.
Biden's visit comes on the heels of President Trump's earlier this week. Trump's visit drew criticism after he ignored local leaders who asked he not come. The president did not meet with the family of Jacob Blake, saying the family wanted to involve lawyers. Biden's plans do include a meeting with the family, including the 29-year-old man's father.
I'm not going to do anything other than meet with and meetings with community leaders, as well as business people and other folks in law enforcement, and to see, start to talk about what has to be done. I'm not going to tell Kenosha what they have to do, but we have to do together.
Meanwhile, Attorney General William Barr defending the actions of police, saying shootings of African Americans often aren't racially motivated and not as common as protests make them seem.
I don't think they're two justice systems. I think the narrative that that the police are on some epidemic of shooting unarmed black men is simply a false narrative, and also the narrative that that's based on race.
As for the shooting of Jacob Blake, Barr asked for the public to be patient and allow for due process to take place. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
In a major cost-saving move, Ford is planning to cut 1,400 white-collar jobs. The company is offering early retirement to help meet that goal. The auto giant sent letters to employees Wednesday saying early retirement offers would go out next week to eligible salaried staff. Employees who accept the offer by October 23rd will be scheduled to leave the company by the end of the year. If Ford doesn't hit its cost-cutting target with this voluntary incentive program, it may have to move forward with involuntary job cuts. The move is part of a 5-year, $11 billion restructuring plan that was first announced 2 years ago.
NASA has completed a booster test for the Space Launch System in Utah. The SLS rocket will power the first Artemis mission to the moon. The booster used in the test, the same size, has the same power as the 5-segment solid rocket boosters on the SLS rocket. They are the largest, most powerful boosters ever built for flight. NASA lead contractor Northrop Grumman are using the test to evaluate the motor's performance for future boosters. NASA working to land the first woman and next man on the moon by the year 2024.
Very cool. Time now, 5:37 and 81 degrees.
Still ahead, a look at a new snack cake set to be released soon by Reese's.
And also next, an update on how the Bexar County Courthouse is doing to restore jury trials.
And outside with live cam. Yeah, I agree with Mike. It's a little clearer to see downtown. It's been so humid the last couple of days, it's been hard to see much of anything other than the top of the Tower of the Americas and the Alamo Dome. Your forecast coming up after the break. By 40, the COVID-19 positivity rate in San Antonio is slowly trending downward. If that improvement continues, it will affect a lot of things, including the courts.
Could it mean jury trials will resume soon? They've been on hold since March. Our Paul Venema has a story.
Fearing the spread of the coronavirus, jury trials like this were halted this spring. In a September set of guidelines, the State Office of Court Administration has recommended resuming in-person trials on October 1st. But the final decision is up to the local administrative judge.
I am looking at the beginning of the year, unless factors change. We got to always keep an open mind.
Runhell said his decision will be based on the numbers.
The positivity rate in Bexar County is 7.8%. The standard that I believe we should set is less than 5% positivity rate.
He said his primary concern, as it's been from day one, is public safety. And he worries that resuming trials too soon could have a negative effect on efficiency.
We want to make sure that when folks come in, that they know that they're coming in for good.
Runhell said his final startup decision will be based on input from all district and county court judges. Their opinions, he said, are across the board.
There are some judges that are itching to start a jury trial, and I don't blame them. I would love to start a jury trial myself.
Bottom line, for now, the date for resuming in-person jury trials in Bexar County remains a moving target. Paul Venema, KSAT 12 News.
542, 81 degrees.
And are you looking for a new drinking buddy like this one? Bush wants to turn your dog into one. That story coming up.
That's Bruce.
And welcome back. It's 5:45. In your morning consumer headlines, Reese's has a new way to satisfy that salty sweet craving. The candy company, best known for its chocolate and peanut butter cups, has announced a snack cake. The chocolate and peanut butter cream cakes are being billed as a mid-morning treat. They come two to a pack with a $2 price tag. Look for Reese's snack cakes in stores this December.
Sorry, not sorry. We'll eat them. Man's best friend getting his own beer. It's called Dog Brew by Bush, the non-alcoholic bone broth made from bone-in pork butt, celery, mint, turmeric, and ginger. You can pour it into a water bowl or use it to soften Fido's food. It's not the first time a brewery has included dog beer on its list. It may be the most expensive. A 4-pack sells online for $10.
Wow.
It's currently sold out, but you can sign up for a wait list. Bush said it will donate $1 for every 4-pack to the Best Friends Animal Society.
Well, that's good.
Right? Now to a 4th grader who turned scrap metal into cold hard cash.
He then used that money to say thank you to first responders. Here's ABC's Tom Yamas.
It all started with this pitch.
Instead of having a birthday party or having as many presents, I want to donate to a hospital.
That's 9-year-old Hunter Michael Hutchins.
I was wondering if you wanted to donate, even if it's $1 or $10.
He's on a mission to raise money for first responders at his local Indianapolis hospital.
Even if it's more, just please donate. If you can't, that's okay. Please donate.
The 4th grader using his scrap metal business for good. Recycle things like aluminum cans and old batteries and turn it into cash.
A lot of things just get thrown away.
He combined those earnings with his own birthday money to buy snacks for hospital staff at Franciscan Health, already donating more than $2,000.
I think they are really happy because they gave me pictures.
Those thank yous pouring in from hospital workers and encouraging others to donate their scrap metal to Hunter Michael.
We're going to take a load in a minute.
Today, the little boy's back at it again, headed back to the scrap yard, this time with unwanted satellite dishes, poles, and chairs, hoping to raise another $2,000 by next week. This young entrepreneur showing us a new way to say thank you.
So, we're back from the scrap yard. I got $11, and now I gotta go do my homework and get ready for soccer practice. Bye.
ABC's Tom Yamas reporting. In an age of uncertainty, can feel a little bit better about the future of our country when you meet kids like that, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. And I like he's like, bye. It's such a great attitude about everything.
Yep, indeed. Let's check traffic right now as I get my order straight on who's next, and that would be Officer Nick Solis.
Your turn.
Yeah, my turn now. All right, things looking good right now. You're headed to work.
Is your microphone on, Nick, by chance? Or maybe a battery has decided to go out on you.
Yeah, turn. You know what? Looks like my battery has died.
It has died. Okay. All right. Well, how about this? Why don't we transition to Mike, and maybe we can circle back to you. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I think. Well,
there you are.
Hey. Okay. I didn't remember turning it off. I don't know. Okay. Well, right now, we don't have too much to talk about it anyways. Things are looking good out there right now. We have construction eastbound I-10 West at Dominion Drive still blocked off. Hopefully this opens up soon, but those eastbound lanes from Bernie to 1604 still blocked off there. All right. Taking a look at the TransGuide 90 and 36. That's looking real good right now, flowing very smoothly. And let's do one more. 37 at Jones on the southeast side. Man, that left lane's looking good. Never used to look like that. And 281 and Grayson flowing great.
Hey, real quick, Nick, since I've got you here, on my dog walks, I've noticed people throwing masks and rubber gloves out their windows.
Oh, yeah.
During the pandemic. I'm starting to see them more on the side of the road. So maybe just a friendly reminder, not the thing to do.
Yeah, definitely not.
Or in parking lots as well.
What's that, Mike?
I said just plain old don't litter.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
yes.
That's underline that.
Yeah.
Listen to your mom.
Anyway, hey, take a look at this picture. This is our producer, Hardy, the one who's whispering sweet nothings in our ear right now. And it was your daughter that spotted this, right, Hardy? Is he listening to me? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Pink spotted hawk moth, usually nocturnal. Very cool looking. I love that. Thank you very much, producer, for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, looking at downtown, it looks almost a little bit better just in this view. As far as, you know, we've had that haze and you couldn't even see the lights hardly of downtown the past couple of mornings. 81 in town, 77 Bernie Stage, 78 in Divine, and Comfort right now, you're at 74 degrees. Dew point temperatures remain in the low to mid 70s. They may be down a degree or two compared to yesterday, so just a touch more comfortable when you step outside. We are still looking at a couple of showers around the area this morning. This is just some clutter around the radar site. And we've got these few that pass through Gonzales, now sliding up in toward 10. So if you're heading out 10 off to the east, you may run into a couple of damp spots on the highway. And if you're going down 37, you may run into a couple of damp spots approaching Three Rivers. A nice little downpour right here, a couple of those cells. Obviously few and far between, a few of them moving in toward Atascosa County as well. We'll see a few this morning, and then things will sort of lull a little bit and then pick back up later on this afternoon. And by about noon, what's going to be interesting is watching what this computer model is picking up there in portions of the hill country, a cluster of thunderstorms that would be sliding down to the south throughout the afternoon hours in toward dinner time, and then a few more of those developing. And of course, with the heat of the afternoon, we'll start to see a few more. So about a 40, almost 50% chance to see some rain. Of course, that doesn't mean that it's a sure thing that you'll see it in your backyard, but we do have decent rain chances around the area with those scattered thunderstorms. Now, some of those may be on the strong, potentially severe side. High winds would be the biggest threat with that, and then we'll have some hefty downpours associated with some of those storms as well. So here's what's going on. We've got this little kind of a weakness in between the two areas of high pressure, and that's what's giving us the chance for some rain. And even though we don't have anything just showing up on the map, at least we've got the weak spot in between there. So it's not like there's a tight lid on the atmosphere at all. So that's why we will have the chances for rain the next couple of days. I think they'll sort of taper off a little bit going in toward the weekend and then pick back up the first of the week. And this computer model, this is the one that's more aggressive with the front moving on through here by Tuesday, late Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then parks a low nearby. And that's going to help to enhance the rain chances. Another computer model, long range model, remember, late last week and earlier this week we were saying how all models were in agreement. Now they're starting to vary just a little bit, and that's why you got to kind of take those long range forecasts with a grain of salt. But both do agree that we will have some sort of a front moving through here, and it's looking pretty confident. Depending on the strength of it, that's kind of a wait and see situation. 88 degrees today at noon, a couple of showers around the area, a few showers, thunderstorms, maybe some hefty downpours, some strong winds. 95 for high temperature, just about normal. And tomorrow, I think a slightly better chance for some rain. And we'll stay at mid to lower 90s. Same thing on Saturday, a little bit lesser chance of rain, and Sunday and Monday, a lesser rain chance. Then that will start to pick back up Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, the degree of intensity of the front, that's still kind of a little back and forth, but everything is still looking, wanting to pull a front through here.
We have some time to fine tune.
Right.
That's fine. No complaints from me.
Nope.
Thank you, Mike.
Same here. 5:53, 81 degrees.
And the release of Disney's Mulan was among the first major movies affected by the pandemic. Up next, a preview as it finally arrives this week, but not in theaters.
Hollywood Boulevard, March 9th, 2020, the site of the world premiere of Disney's Mulan. The live-action remake was scheduled to release in North American theaters on March 27th, but was one of several movies delayed in the early days of the coronavirus pandemic and lockdown.
My father cannot fight, so I will take his place.
The movie stars an ensemble cast of Chinese and Chinese-American acting talent, and while the animation and musical aspects of the original have changed in the interest of realism, the movie's soundtrack does feature Christina Aguilera.
Am I loyal, brave, and true?
In August, the studio announced Mulan would debut on its Disney Plus streaming service, which will carry an additional $29.99 price tag to stream the movie. The studio is sticking to its battle plan, even as other movies have slowly begun opening in theaters in recent days.
A girl threatens our plans.
A warrior.
It's really about figuring out for the studios on a case-by-case basis how, when, and where they're going to release their movies, but also for consumers to make a choice as to where they're going to spend their money and time and energy, which platform, which film, maybe a combination of both, or maybe none of the above. We just don't know right now. It's really up to the individual consumer.
I'm Hua Mulan. I will bring honor to us all.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Ahead the next hour, GMSA. Many people have felt the economic impact of the pandemic. For parents with adult children, they may be struggling to help their kids without going broke themselves. We'll look at some ways to keep things financially balanced the best way possible. Trans Guide, there's 10 at Callahan. A few cars on the road, picking up minute by minute. We'll get a time saver traffic update with our traffic expert, Officer Nick Solis. Police are looking for the people involved in a drive-by shooting on our city's east side. Right now, a woman's in the hospital, and police only have a description of the shooter's car.
The CDC urging states to get ready to distribute a vaccine by November 1st. I'm Inez de la Cuetara in Washington, and I'll have all the details coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, 81 degrees, humid, but you know what? Not as humid as yesterday. We'll take it, and some more encouraging news for Mike in just a bit.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. Rise and shine. It is Thursday, September 3rd.
Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us. Yay, we made it to Thursday, and some of you were lucky enough to get rain, which is great news. And if you didn't get it yesterday, maybe today.
Maybe so. As I look over my shoulder and turn to Mike Osterhage, yeah, there are a few showers out there once again this morning.
Yeah, and these are going to be dying down a little bit, and then we'll see more developing later on this afternoon. So, like you were saying, Steph, if you didn't get rain yesterday, and of course not everybody is going to be seeing rain, but we do have another chance tomorrow, and actually still rain chances, again, of varying degrees through the next few days, even into next week. And as far as the humidity, yeah, it's not like it's bone dry out there, but it's just a little bit more comfortable. It just wasn't that brick wall running into when you stepped outside. When I stepped outside this morning, here's those few showers, and again, they are very few and far between. We had a decent little cell moving through Gonzales, and that's starting to die off now as that works its way across 10. And then going down 37, you can see a fairly good downpour right there just to the northwest of Three Rivers, about to move across 37. There were a couple of lightning strikes associated with that as well, and then a few more of these are developing back out here to the west. So right around Tilden, seeing some good rain, and we'll see potential for a couple of stronger thunderstorms later on today. Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk. High winds are going to be the biggest threats with some of these, maybe a little bit of some small hail out there. As far as temperatures today, temperatures are going to be about mid 70s or so this morning, and then we're going to make it up into the upper 80s today at noon, and finally top off right around mid 90s, just about normal again like yesterday. So that seems to be the prize winner as far as these temperatures not getting up into triple digit range, and humidity is going to be okay this afternoon. We'll talk more about the more rain chances that we have throughout the weekend, long weekend forecast, and see what the latest is on that front next week. Details in a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now. And Officer Nick Solis, you haven't had a lot to talk. Well, I see something there on 281.
Yeah, 281, a little bit of construction. We got a little moderate traffic, but other than that, Mike, it's been quiet compared to yesterday morning. Things are looking good right now all over the city. Construction is getting a little bit better. Still, I-10 is still shut down right now at Dominion Drive. You're just coming in from Bertie to 1604. The main lanes of eastbound I-10 at Dominion Drive closed. They've been closed all morning. Keep that in mind if you have to head in that direction. TransGuide 10 at Frio, inbounds and outbounds. Look at that, flowing very smoothly downtown and then back towards I-10. 10 at UTSA. Looks great right now, a little blurry there, but still flowing smoothly. And 90 and 36 on the west side looks great. All right, everyone, make sure to wear that seatbelt and get to work safely. Stephanie?
Thank you, Nick. New this morning, police are looking for the people involved in a drive-by shooting. San Antonio police say it happened around 11:15 last night in the 600 block of Potomac. That's on the east side near New Braunfels and Houston. They say a woman and a few others were sitting outside on the porch, and that's when they say a tan Buick pulled up and someone inside fired a few shots and the car sped off. Police say a bullet hit a woman in the stomach and she was taken to SAMC. She is expected to recover and officers are still looking for the shooter.
Local health officials say 13 more people have died from COVID-19 here in Bexar County. Those deaths from July 14th to August 30th. Mayor Ron Nirenberg also reported 250 new cases in last night's press conference, which brings the 7-day average up to 184 cases a day, which has been slowly increasing over the past week. Mayor Nirenberg also says the city's new workforce program is accepting applications. The program designed to help people who've lost a job find a new one. And Metro Health reminding everyone to get a flu shot during the pandemic.
A new program at UTSA this semester allows students to participate in the public health response to the pandemic. The course on contact tracing gives students hands-on experience tracking people who were exposed to COVID-19. It is for upper division health and public health majors. Some students are already sharing their experience in the new class.
They're not just going to be listening to online modules and learning what it is, but they're going to be actually doing contact tracing.
I used to work in a hospital system, and I really saw the impacts of COVID-19 on our community and just the lack of education. And I was really wanting to get integrated into the San Antonio community and particularly the UTSA community.
So far, about 20 people have enrolled in that program.
A teacher at San Antonio ISD now on administrative leave for speaking out against the district's plans for in-person learning next week. Luke Amplet and others at Burbank High School raised concerns in a letter to school leaders. Some of those concerns included masks not being worn, rooms not being properly sanitized, and what they say is insufficient screening procedures for students. A responsibility teachers are worried they would have to take on. Well, Amplet was the only teacher placed on paid administrative leave, and students are speaking out about the district's decision.
And when we see stuff like this happen, it's a real slap in the face to us and to those who have been advocating for this change.
We see our teachers being punished like this. Like, what does that look like for us once we go back and we want to express real concerns?
SAISD says it can't comment on Amplet's leave, but did say they respect their employees' rights to raise concerns. District also said each of its campuses has a plan in place to reopen safely, and they are following CDC guidelines.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention sent a letter to state health officials urging state vaccine distribution facilities to be prepared for a vaccine by November 1st.
However, some are taking issue with that date just 2 days before the presidential election. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara has more.
This morning, the CDC director urging governors in all 50 states to get ready by November 1st to help with the release of a possible vaccine. Dr. Robert Redfield saying in a letter obtained by ABC News, the government is rapidly making preparations to implement large-scale distribution of COVID-19 vaccines in the fall of 2020. That letter dated on the same day the president promised a vaccine at the Republican convention.
We'll produce a vaccine before the end of the year, or maybe even sooner.
But the director of the National Institute of Health says it's unlikely there will be a vaccine that soon. Critics worry a vaccine might be rushed, but the White House claims the timing has nothing to do with the election. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, two very different looking campaigns. Former Vice President Joe Biden at a socially distanced event in Delaware, hammering his message that the president is making the country less safe.
If President Trump and his administration had done their jobs early on with this crisis, American schools would be open and they'd be open safely. Instead, American families all across this country are paying the price for his failures.
While President Trump greeted supporters in North Carolina. Although a metal gate separated him from the crowd, his supporters were packed in together, few wearing masks.
I think we're rounding the turn on this China virus. We're rounding the turn.
Health experts now urging Americans to be vigilant with Labor Day celebrations right around the corner.
Backyard barbecues are fine as long as they're not massive, but you have to have a plan. What if it starts raining? Don't have everybody come indoors.
And colleges are now struggling to stop the spread of COVID. The University of Georgia reporting more than 800 cases on campus in just the last week. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
And time now, 6:08 and 81 degrees.
One man is taking on what people commonly call a favorite food. We'll see what he has against the term boneless chicken wings and his one-man war.
The number of homeless high school students is at an all-time high. After the break, we will see how one woman survived the streets and is now looking forward to law school.
Outside with live cam, see how things are looking out there as the sun is slowly starting to work its way over that eastern horizon. 6:09, looking good downtown. Mike's full forecast coming up. 6:12, welcome back to GMSA. The pandemic, addiction, lack of affordable housing. Those are some of the reasons the number of homeless students in schools across our country right now is at an all-time high.
In fact, 2 million children experienced homelessness, which has doubled in the last decade. According to studies, children who are homeless are more likely to get bad grades, drop out of school, and suffer health consequences.
But there is hope, as Erica Hernandez reports. One young lady's proof that you can thrive despite the circumstances.
We have dirty laundry. In that one, there's tools that we might need.
That was 15-year-old Ariel Metzger, along with her little brother Austin, featured on 60 Minutes, homeless and living out of her dad's truck.
It's only life. You do what you need to do, right?
Fast forward 10 years.
I was so proud of myself to be able to work that hard to be able to finally get a degree.
Ariel now goes by Autumn Johnson, using her life experiences guided by her faith to help homeless and hurting teenagers.
It was a lot to juggle and a lot to handle.
For the first time, she's coming out publicly with what happened to her.
He would physically abuse my brother and sexually abuse me. It's hard to say. Being homeless was probably the easiest thing I've ever done.
In a recent study of homeless teens, nearly 50% reported physical harm by a family member and 19% reported sexual abuse. Professor Rockne Shankar Brown is Autumn's mentor.
I think the beauty for me is seeing there have been so many different people that have come in and helped her.
Not long after being thrown into the national spotlight, Autumn was put into foster care and was finally adopted. She accepted a full ride to Stetson University, but as so much has changed, one thing remains the same.
I plan to be a child defense lawyer. School was everything to me, and it still is.
She is speaking out now to let others see there is hope.
The life right now that you're living is temporary. There is better. You can always move forward. Nothing stays the same.
Autumn accepted a position at an organization that helps girls survive and thrive after being sex trafficked. And in case you were wondering, her brother is an undergrad at Stetson University. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And trending on KSAT.com, the San Antonio International Airport is the first in the world to have a special robot to kill the coronavirus. Airport officials say the Light Strike robot kills the virus in just 2 minutes. It does so by shooting bursts of UV light on commonly touched surfaces. Now, the airport saying it plans to hold a naming contest for the robot via social media.
Additional campgrounds along the Padre Island National Seashore are planning to reopen this Friday just in time for the Labor Day weekend. You now camp at Malachite Beach and Bird Island Basin. Those campgrounds have been closed since the spring due to the pandemic, storm damage, and construction projects. You can rent a spot to camp for $18 to $14 a night. However, the campgrounds will be on a first-come, first-served basis.
And students will soon be able to take virtual tours of the San Antonio Museum of Art. The museum is offering 45-minute guided tours for students from kindergarten to 12th grade. They will offer them all year in the hopes of allowing teachers and students to plan, quote, field trips. The museum also says the tours will cover many curriculum areas, including science, history, social studies, and of course, art. You can read more about these trending stories right now on KSAT.com. And I know sometimes we're like, oh, it's just virtual, but I witnessed my daughter yesterday on a virtual Zoom, and it was for a gym class, and she was having the best time ever.
So how's PE going virtually?
Well, virtually, PE is great. We're good on that subject.
Good.
Yeah, so these might be fun to check out.
Fantastic. Hey, for a tour of the roads, let's check in with our cruise director, Officer Nick Solis.
That's a good one, Mark. All right, right now, forgive me, double populated on me, but we got an accident here, Applewhite Road at South Zalzamora Street. This accident's been there for about 15 minutes, causing not too much of a traffic buildup, but it is a 3-vehicle accident at that intersection. Keep that in mind. That's just south of 410 and Highway 16. All right, construction still eastbound I-10 West at Dominion Drive. Eastbound main lane still closed down. I'm hoping this construction can be cleared up anytime now. Outside of the TransGuide, 281 and 410 looking good near the airport. 1604 at Wiseman Boulevard near the Alamo Ranch area. That looks great right now. And 35 at Ben Zingelman there on the northeast side. Looks good, flowing smoothly all around the city.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nick.
Hey, you know the robot thing?
Yeah.
Devoke.
The name?
Yep.
What's
COVID backwards. You heard it here first. I got a witness. The officer. You're the officer.
What was it again?
Or either, well, COVID, and they use the same vowel pronunciation,
okay,
Devoke, but
got it.
or Devoke, Devoc.
I'm good.
Devoc sounds better.
I was thinking like Sam or something.
I'm gonna have to think on it. Can I get
Wally.
back to you?
Wally.
Devoc, COVID backwards. So you heard it here first. I get the prize. Wait, is there a prize?
I didn't see that.
Our undying devotion.
You get to be the weatherman.
There you go.
Hey, as far as the rest of today, the rest of this morning, maybe a couple of showers around the area, especially if you're heading out 10 and heading down 37. 77 degrees and southeasterly wind about 10 to 15 miles per hour. 95 for a high today. Normal high is 94. Hey, if you're within 1 degree of that, that's a winner, and we will have a few scattered showers and thunderstorms later on today. Beautiful picture. Look at that nice orange moon, just in time for almost Halloween. We had the question yesterday: is it too soon to start putting up Halloween decorations?
It's not, but
let's ask you, Mike Osterhage,
well,
Captain
again,
Spider.
as we were saying, all bets are off this year, so
because you have a spider that covers your whole house.
Just
we
about,
wait.
yes. So
we cannot wait to see it.
Thank you for the KSAT Connect picture, and we've got a fair amount of humidity this morning. It doesn't seem like it's quite as bad as what it was yesterday, and there are a couple of showers around the area, especially, like I said, off to the east and down to the southeast. A few of them crossing over 10 right there. Not much. I mean, there may be a few sprinkles here and there. And then a couple of them, these are actually look like they're starting to build up a little bit. There were a few lightning strikes being detected in that cell, which is just crossing 37 as of right now. And then a couple of more that are developing in behind that, even 1 or 2 of them there around Pleasanton. So again, just a few scattered showers. Not everybody's going to be seeing rain today, nor this morning, nor later on this afternoon, but about a 40-50% chance for some rain. There is the severe potential. Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk. High winds would be the biggest threat with that. And then also there's a chance to see a couple of hefty downpours with some of these storms. So here's this computer model, which has a couple of showers. This tends to broad brush things a little bit. It's not going to be this widespread, but it just kind of puts that chance in here, especially to the east and southeast. And then later on this afternoon, we'll have to watch out for a few of those showers and thunderstorms. Looks like a couple of cells want to develop up in the hill country and work their way down through the area. And that'll be the case in through tonight. And then we'll have to watch out for maybe a couple of those nighttime storm complexes to develop. And we will have some more scattered rain around the area throughout the day tomorrow with a few thunderstorms. Then things are going to start to taper off just a little bit, it looks like, as we go into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. and still a shower or two, and then we'll have rain start to pick back up again as we go into next week. So there's really not much going on around the country right now. We've just got some little disturbances hanging around here. Also, take note how starting to see some of this activity coming in from Canada and then moving into the northern part of the United States. So the jet stream, the steering winds, you can almost think of it as the kind of the dividing line between the cold air and the hot air down here. That will obviously be staying well up to the north. The high pressure is still dominating, but we're right in between. So there's enough of a kind of a gap or a little crack between the two of them to get some of these showers, get some of these thunderstorms to develop. And like I said, today, tomorrow, lesser chances going on into the weekend with that high dominating, but temperatures will still be just about mid and even some lower 90s around here. Once we start to move into next week, this trough is going to start to really sort of push down here to the south. And this is the model that is very aggressive with that front moving on through here. It also wants to develop a low right here, which wouldn't be a bad thing at all. And that would help out with some rain chances by next week. So long range computer models, and again, we're still just about a week away from this, but long range models both still agree there's some sort of a front moving through here. How strong it is, how cool it's going to be, that's where they tend to differ a little bit. So this is one thing we'll just have to keep watching over the next couple of days. 88 degrees today at noon. Couple of showers around, and then a few showers and thunderstorms later on today. 95 for a high temperature. Again, normal high 94, right in the ballpark. And tomorrow, still a decent chance for showers, a few thunderstorms. Temperatures mid to lower 90s. I'm kind of leaning toward the lower side there in the next few days, but then a bit more sunshine Sunday and Monday, so back to the mid 90s, and rain chances start to pick up a little bit Tuesday and then into Wednesday.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were done with 100-degree temperatures for the season? I know we can't say that with any certainty.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about that, and the way it is looking is that we would be done with them as of right now once we kind of get this pattern changed to kind of come on through here. So, yes.
Good job.
Closest thing I could find to wood nearby.
I can wood with that.
Yeah, thank you,
That
Mike.
would be great. Yeah, at least we see that 68 there on the screen. That's
right,
very
for that
encouraging.
low temperature.
Headed in the right direction. 622, 81 degrees.
And after being cooped up in their homes all summer, some Americans are getting ready to hit the road for Labor Day weekend. We're going to have what that could mean in the fight against the virus in today's GMA First Look.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it on KSAT.com/Circle K for a monthly chance to win free gas for a year. Every entry wins a medium coffee. Win with Circle K and GMSA.
Feeling stressed? Try new Nature's Bounty Stress Comfort. 3 unique gummies for your unique needs. Find peace, boost mood, sleep well. Stress comfort comes naturally, only from Nature's Bounty.
As we move forward, let's continue to practice these healthy habits brought to you by Lysol. Wash your hands often with soap and water and monitor your health. Always use the inside of your elbow to cough or sneeze. Be sure to cover your mouth and nose with a cloth face cover around others and keep about 6 feet distance from them. And remember to clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. The best way forward is together. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
Cookies and Breyers. That's like getting 2 desserts. Wait, do we have to thank our moms twice?
I don't know. Breyers combines 100% grade A milk and cream with real Oreo cookies. Better starts with Breyers.
In this morning's GMA First Look, masks and travel.
How important is it for you to wear a mask at an airport?
Oh, I think it's very important.
But Dr. Henry Wu with Emory University's Travel Well Center says people need to be extra vigilant when hitting the skies.
People may be coming from areas with high rates of COVID.
To find out if passengers are wearing face coverings at airports while traveling, we did an experiment. GMA producers visiting the ticketing areas at 3 popular airports, Miami International Airport, New York's LaGuardia, and Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson. In 1 hour, in a single spot, we counted to see how many people were wearing masks correctly, incorrectly, or not at all.
We found some interesting numbers.
So what did we find? Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have our eye-opening results and tell you how to prepare before your next flight. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan Markle have inked a big deal with Netflix. The royal couple signed on to make documentaries, scripted TV shows, and children's series. Financial terms are private, but analysts say the deal is worth millions, likely as high as $75 million.
Google just made an investment in new real estate. It just unveiled plans to create a new campus in its home city of Mountain View, California. The 40-acre campus will include more than 4 million square feet of office space, along with housing units and retail space.
Turns out your computer screen might be aging you. A new study finds 30 hours in front of the blue light from your monitor is as bad for your skin as 25 minutes of sun without sunscreen. Experts recommend screen breaks and skin creams with antioxidants to lessen the problem. Noted.
All right, so a man in Lincoln, Nebraska has a bone to pick over the term boneless chicken wings.
And he says he may use the issue as a basis for a presidential run. Andrew Christensen gave a speech about renaming boneless chicken wings, and it went viral nationally. Public figures from across the country tweeting the video in favor of his movement. And he says his position is bipartisan and one that many people can get behind.
Boneless chicken wings? Unless you're going to strap those things to the side of a jet, you cannot call them a wing. They're a chicken tender with sauce, saucy nugs at best.
Wow.
Okay, however, he says some big businesses are against his position, and what he calls saucy nugs is not the only alternative name that Christensen is proposing. He says that buffalo-style chicken tenders could also be an appropriate new term.
And if you're wondering what the heck is going on here, a reminder, it is 2020. Anything's possible.
It all makes sense now.
Sorta.
Time now, 6:29 and 81 degrees for now.
Democratic nominee for President Joe Biden expected to visit Kenosha, Wisconsin today. We'll learn more about his plans to talk with the family of Jacob Blake.
And parents often support their kids financially, even when they're adults. And during hard economic times, it may be more important but more difficult to cut them off.
If you're just now waking up, we are outside with live cam where it remains warm, 80 degrees. Mike says it's a little less humid this morning. We're going to take his word for that. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It is September 3rd, and we're still waiting on some changes to our South Texas weather forecast.
I believe, Mike, when I stepped outside, it wasn't as bad as yesterday.
Can I go back out and try right now, Mike, and just sample it?
Please do.
Okay.
Leave your key card in here. And
okay,
then,
so you don't want me back in the building. I get it. That was subtle.
I mean, it's still humid. There's no getting around that, but it just didn't seem like it was, just that blob of humidity hitting you when I stepped outside this morning. Again, though, we still have a fair amount of humidity. High temperatures today. Notice around all of the area. Del Rio's the only one forecast with a triple-digit high temperature today. So most everybody's going to be staying in the mid-90s thanks to the cloud cover. And, it's kind of fighting to get back down to about a normal reading. 94 is normal out there at the airport this time of year. Like I said, we'll be at right around 95 degrees. So just about where we should be. We've got a couple of showers showing up right now. And as a matter of fact, well, first of all, these have pretty much fizzled out there that have moved across through Gonzales and I-10, but these are actually starting to develop a little bit more. There were a couple of lightning strikes, just one or two of them out there, and north of Tilden, a few good cells, and might see a few decent downpours as well. We've got a couple of scattered showers up around Pleasanton and moving through Atascosa County. So again, one or two of them around this morning, and then we are going to be seeing scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms later on today. About a 50% chance for rain today. 95 again for a high temperature. Gotta love that, and still okay humidity. Showers and thunderstorms tonight as well as the next couple of days. We're going to keep rain chances in the forecast. I think once we get in toward the weekend, they drop down a little bit. Temperatures will be mid to lower 90s, coming back up slightly in toward Labor Day, and then we have another chance of rain in toward the middle part of next week. We'll get it all sorted out in a couple of minutes. Time saver traffic right now, and Officer Nick Solis and.
Got a couple
What's
accidents.
that all about?
Yeah, a couple accidents, Mike. This is going to be northbound I-35 access road near Space Center Drive, Industry Park area. Looks like we have a one-vehicle accident there. SAPD is currently working on not causing any traffic buildup, but just it is there. Keep it in mind if you have to head that way. Still working on this accident. This is going to be Applewhite Road at South Zalzamora Street. 3-car accident. Hopefully that can get cleared up soon as well. Construction. I saw them. They're starting to pick up this construction, but as you can see right here, traffic has gone from moderate to heavy there on that access road. Eastbound I-10 at Dominion Drive, those main lanes are still closed. That's coming in from Bertie to 1604. They've been closed all morning. Hopefully they get cleared up very soon. All right, TransGuide 37 at Houston flowing smoothly right now. Looks good out there. That's always good news there. 35 at Rittiman where we had that accident. Here it is. There it is right there on the access road. Already caused a little bit of traffic buildup in 281 at 410 at the airport. Looks great. All right, everyone, please get to work safely. Remember to wear that seatbelt. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Nick. President Donald Trump is threatening to cut off federal funding to cities like New York and Seattle as part of a crackdown on what the president has described as riots, looting, and lawless protesting.
This comes as Joe Biden travels to Kenosha, Wisconsin today to visit with the family of Jacob Blake. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has more.
This morning, President Trump taking steps to revoke federal funding from what he calls anarchist cities. The president is ordering all federal agencies to send reports to the White House within 14 days, laying out funds that can be redirected. Trump's memo signaling out Washington, D.C., Seattle, Portland, and New York City. The president writing in a tweet that his administration, quote, will do everything in its power to prevent weak mayors and lawless cities from taking federal dollars. Overnight, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo claiming the president's order is illegal, noting that New York City alone receives $7 billion a year in federal aid for housing, medical, and homeland security. Cuomo slamming Trump.
Look, the best thing he did for New York City was leave. Good riddance. Let him go to Florida. Be careful not to get COVID.
As President Trump pushes his law and order message on the campaign trail, the White House says federal authorities have arrested more than 200 people in several cities in recent demonstrations linked to police brutality. Today, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is ramping up his travel, heading to Kenosha, Wisconsin, to meet with the family of Jacob Blake, the black man shot 7 times in the back by police.
There's been overwhelming requests that I do come. Because what we want to do is we got to heal. We got to put things together, bring people together. And so my purpose in going will be to do just that.
Trump, during his visit to Kenosha this week, did not meet with Blake's family. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
A new COVID-19 study has revealed possible risks for pregnant women. The study published in the BMJ Medical Journal says pregnant women diagnosed with COVID-19 don't always show symptoms, but they are more likely to be admitted to the intensive care unit after a diagnosis. It also found pregnant women with COVID-19 are at increased risk of delivering preterm. The research added pregnant women are included in the list of people at moderate risk.
Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Seaver has passed away. Seaver led the Mets to their first World Series win in 1969. He was named Tom Terrific, nickname, and elected to the Hall of Fame in 1992 with a then record 99% of the vote. Only Ken Griffey Jr., Mariano Rivera, and Derek Jeter had a better percentage. Seaver's family says he died of complications from dementia and COVID-19. He was 75 years old.
Another high-profile figure's Twitter account has been hacked with a Bitcoin message. The company says they are investigating the account of India's prime minister. The tweets ask people to donate Bitcoin to another account referencing a COVID-19 fund. The account is one of several linked to the prime minister and has 2.5 million followers. Those tweets have since been deleted.
NASA's completed a booster test for the Space Launch System in Utah. The SLS rocket will power the first Artemis mission to the moon. They are the largest, most powerful boosters ever built for flight. NASA lead contractor Northrop Grumman are using the test to evaluate the motor's performance for future boosters. NASA is working to land the first woman and the next man on the moon by 2024.
In your morning consumer headlines, the United States has not seen debt like this since the Second World War. The Congressional Budget Office now says the national debt will hit 98% of gross domestic product this year. And next year, the nation's debt will likely be bigger than the size of the entire economy. The debt level has been fueled by borrowing to fight the coronavirus pandemic.
United Airlines plans to lay off over 16,000 workers when federal stimulus funds run out at the end of the month. Meanwhile, the union representing flight attendants says another 14,000 will still officially be on the books, but will not be getting a paycheck in the month of October.
And Nike is launching its first maternity collection. It is called Nike M. It will include new designs for a sports bra, tank top, and tights. 30 female athletes helped test them out. The new line goes on sale in 2 weeks.
It's a new feature on Google Maps app letting drivers know about traffic lights at intersections. The tech company says the change will help people stay better informed on the best route to take. The app also has a color mapping feature to help users more easily identify varying terrain types like beaches and forests. It also has redrawing of sidewalks and pedestrian islands for better navigation viewing.
Time now, 6:40 and 81 degrees.
So many people have felt the impact of the economic times from the pandemic. And for parents with adult children, they may be struggling to help their kids without going broke themselves. We have more on how to do that coming up.
Millions of young people are out of work and out of options.
I have not worked since March.
There's no work. And so we were the first to be hit and we'll be the last to go back.
You want to help your kids, but you need to be careful not to put a financial strain on yourself. First, never risk your retirement. It's better to let your kids come back and live at home than to draw from your retirement fund. If you do have extra money, be specific about what your plan is. Is this a gift or is it a loan? If it's a loan, set a timeline for how long it's going to take to pay you back. Make sure they're paying you something each month. Also, make sure you agree on what they're going to be using the money for. If necessary, help them put together a budget. There are apps out there like Mint and Pocket Card. This budget can help your child track their income and their expenses. Also, think of how you can help your kids without dishing out any money. Maybe it's babysitting or helping them find a job. According to one survey, almost 3 out of 4 United States adults with children over the age of 18 have helped their adult kids pay living expenses or helped pay out debts. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Also, something not in that story, draw up a physical contract with your child, whether they're an adult or not, and come up with an agreement and have everybody sign it and stick to it. There you go.
I should have my daughter sign it now at 6 years
Rooney's
old.
a little young still. I'm thinking a little bit older than that, perhaps. Let's check out traffic. Here's Officer Nick Solis. You're smiling. That's a good sign.
Yeah, Mark, you made me laugh. Thanks, man.
He's thinking about that contract.
Yeah. All right. Look, so good news. Construction on eastbound I-10 at Dominion is now cleared up. Those main lanes are open. Great. They had perfect timing because it's about to be 7 a.m. and traffic is probably starting to get heavy. So that construction is cleared up. All right, this accident, northbound I-35 access road at Space Center Drive. This accident is still active, has some TransGuide footage of that, and still working on this one here on the south side, Applewhite Road at South Zalzamora Street. This one's looking to get cleared up here any second as well. Here's that accident I was talking about there. This is going to be the northbound I-35 access road at Riddiman. This is a Riddiman camera, but it is Space Center Drive there. Not causing too much traffic buildup, but those northbound lanes are a little heavy there on the access road and the main lanes. Other than that, things are looking good.
Thank you, Nick. Old Glory not exactly waving in this picture, but that's okay.
It's nice, though. Nice pick.
Exactly. It's an absolutely gorgeous picture. I mean, the contrast of all the colors, the sunset in the background and the green of the trees, and then, of course, the beautiful red, white, and blue. Thank you very much, Judith.
Pretty out there in Fair Oaks.
Oh, that's just such a great picture. Fantastic. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Hey, pollen is on the low side. Mold is on the low side, I should say, in the pollen count. The updated reading should be coming out in just about maybe half hour, 45 minutes. All right, lots of clouds. There are a couple of little light spots. It looks like there's a little lighter spot right in there, but we're going to have plenty of our low morning clouds hanging around here and then some sunshine thrown in later on today. Still got some rain showing up down to the south and a couple of decent downpours are moving through from basically west to east. There have been a couple of lightning strikes that have started to pop up. We've got a couple of these scattered showers there. Atascosa County moving over into Wilson County. If you're going down 37, you're going to run into some of that rain as you get down to the southern end of Atascosa County. Computer model keeps some of those showers around this morning, and then I think we see sort of a lull in the action. What's going to be interesting, though, is a couple of models are also picking up by mid-afternoon a cluster of storms trying to move down here from the hill country. So that'll be something to watch out for. And we'll have some more of these showers developing as the day rolls on. Again, not everybody's going to be seeing rain, like was the case yesterday. There were some pretty good showers and thunderstorms out there, but not everybody saw them. So again, if you didn't see it yesterday, maybe you'll get some rain today. And going into tonight, we may have a couple of scattered cells. And actually, it's interesting. This model does have one right on top of San Antonio by almost midnight, and then we'll also have to watch out for a few of those nighttime storm complexes to develop and some more rain developing by tomorrow morning. So I think better rain chances today as well as going into tomorrow, and then things are going to start to taper off a little bit as we go on into the probably later Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Maybe pick back up again by the by the middle of next week. 88 degrees today at noon. We are going to have a couple of showers around here. And then as we go in toward the rest of today, we will see 95 for a high temperature. Like yesterday, normal high is 94. So no triple digits. As a matter of fact, probably not going to see many around the area today. Some scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms. There is the chance that some of those thunderstorms could be on the strong to potentially severe side. There is a marginal risk for that. And high winds are going to be the biggest threats with that. And then on top of that, a couple of heavier downpours because we've got all this moisture in the atmosphere. So we may see that. Now, tomorrow, I almost think a little bit better chance for some rain. 92 for a high temperature tomorrow. And then Saturday, rain chances may drop a little bit, especially toward the afternoon. Again, we stay mid-lower 90s. I think we jump up a little bit in temperatures by Sunday and Monday, getting into the mid-90s once again, closer to normal with a bit more sunshine. And then rain chances come back in here Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, as far as Wednesday and that front moving on through here, been saying all morning long, computer models still agree on a front. How strong it's going to be, that's kind of a wait and see. And then the latest model run came out and it kind of slows it down a little bit too. So.
I was going to say, Steph, are you seeing this? 68 degrees by Wednesday morning?
Looks awesome. We'll take whatever.
And you're saying it may change a little bit. That's
right.
okay.
And again, that depends on the timing of that front. If it comes in a little bit later, we'd stay in 70s and then the front would move through toward mid-morning.
But if you want to round that number down even further, we're on board.
Mike is asking for gifts now with the good news.
I always ask for gifts.
650, 81 degrees.
And if your kids are struggling to interact with others, you may want to encourage them to play more video games. Wow, you heard that right. Tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to see how gamers are connecting in new ways and how it could help your kids. I could see that.
Outside with Live Cam. Another update on traffic coming up. Lots of low clouds out there on your early Thursday morning. You're watching Good Morning San Antonio. Glad you're with us.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, the latest in that possible COVID breakthrough. The CDC director urging governors to get ready for a possible vaccine on November 1st. But is it being pushed or rushed? Plus, we'll have the latest on the colleges trying to contain the virus, the back-to-school crisis intensifying across the country as cases on campus rise. That's all ahead, plus much more coming up on GMA. We'll see you soon.
And in the news you need to know before you go, police are still looking for the people involved in a drive-by shooting. San Antonio police say it happened around 11:15 last night in the 600 block of Potomac. That's on the east side near New Braunfels and Houston. They say a woman and a few others were sitting outside on the porch, and that's when they say a tan Buick pulled up and someone inside fired a few shots at them, and then the car sped off. Police say a bullet hit a woman in the stomach and she was taken to BAMC. She is expected to recover.
During the shutdown, veterans here in Military City, USA are not allowed back here at this VFW. I'm Max Massey. I'll explain why, and I'll explain the state commander's message to the governor.
Also today on GMSA at 9, teachers across San Antonio are closely tracking student attendance during remote learning. But one teacher at Northside ISD is taking a unique approach to making sure her students want to show up to class. How she's filling her empty classroom with A-list celebrities today at 9 after Good Morning America.
Let's get the latest on your morning commute, 5 till 7. Here's Nick.
Yeah, 2 accidents there on the south side in Riddiman and Space Center are cleared up. We do have an accident, though, westbound IH-10 east at Ackerman. Keep that in mind if you're heading that direction. 35 Riddiman flowing smoothly now. Mike?
Thank you, sir. And a couple little breaks in the clouds here and there. We've got our good old morning low clouds hanging around. 87 is what it feels like in town. So, yeah, it's still humid out there. We got a couple of showers, especially down to the south, and we will have a few more later on today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, about a 50% chance for rain, 95 for a high temperature. Some of those could be on the strong, potentially severe side, high winds being the biggest threat.
We'll be watching. Thank you, guys.
Yes, love those rain chances. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great morning. We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9.